And welcome to the In-Game Boss Podcast, a network gaming and other variety shows. I am your host, Jeremy, a.k.a. your retro activist, a.k.a. your in-game boss, a.k.a. spring lover, because it's now, I think it was about 4 days ago, the official, I think it's the 21st, the official first day of spring.
Equinox.
Yeah, first day of spring. Yeah. And also who's springing over here, Mr. Jaron.
A.k.a. the evil of Aku, a.k.a. the grumpiest of bears, a.k.a. I will destroy you on Twitter. No, I won't. I'll just make you feel bad about yourself. I won't hurt you. I'll just hurt your feelings.
Yeah, and it's another fun episode we got today. We're going to have some fun, talk about a couple of games that we like to see get a certain treatment from a certain publisher. But before that, I just want to say that there is the talk, and I think it passed, that daylight savings might be permanent in 23.
Definitely passed the House. I think it's still got to go to the Senate.
Yeah, that's a mixed bag. I haven't really sat there and thought of it because, it just happened, so I'm so used to it. I'm like, I guess I don't know. Well, I don't know what the argument is of why that would not work. And I know we're not going to get too much into that, but I just thought that was an interesting thing that here we are now in 2022 after that's been around over centuries. That now this is something we want to do. So it's kind of just interesting that.
Yeah. I mean, they don't want that Farmer's Almanac nonsense anymore. There are some reasons why daylight savings needs to go away, but there's also arguments saying, no, you're doing it wrong. Don't fall back. Don't put into standard time. Keep it in daylight time or whatever like that, because, you want the days to be earlier and the sun to be out longer, et cetera, But I don't know.
Yeah.
We're screwed either way.
But that's another time, another day. So let's talk about Koei Temco. Koei Temco. Let me tell you something about Koei Temco, guys. Koei Temco has been around since the 80s. They've been working on small little games here or there. And I mean, before they formed together, I'm talking about TECMO was doing some stuff. Koei was doing some stuff in here. And then they decided to get together about a couple, years and years. And for a while, they were just known as the Dynasty Warrior Company. That's it. That's all you got from them. And a couple of little spinoffs that are connected to it, like Samurai Warriors or Mystic Heroes.
Yeah, romancing
anything
saga
that has to do with the Warriors. Regards, I'm surprised they didn't even get the rights to do a Warriors game based off the movie The Warriors. But anyways, they been that until I want to say now, probably around the late PlayStation 2, early PlayStation 2. We saw them start spinning out a couple of new things. They were getting more in the anime. So you saw the Gundams, a couple of One Piece. A couple spinning that out a little bit, and they fleshed on that for a while. They did
One Piece.
They did One Piece. There was a lot of One Piece. Yeah, I think it's one is Red Rumble, and all that kind of crap. But anyways, they started working on going into more of the animes. But the reason I brought this up, because since the last generation of the PS4 and Xbox One and Wii U and all that to now, they have been booming. Almost every publisher, not every publisher, most publishers give them the keys to a lot of their franchise to try that. We're talking about from Zelda. We're talking about Fire Emblem. We're talking about Final Fantasy. We're talking about just a bunch of other ones. I'm pretty sure you're looking up a list right now of all the things that they did the treatment on. And it's actually been pretty surprising that a lot of people are liking these treatments that they're getting.
Yeah.
So much that they got their own little new series, Neo, that was a little bit different since they combined and they own Team Ninja, with the Ninja Gaidens and Dead or Alive and all that kind of stuff. It's been very interesting because for a while, Dynasty Warriors was just Dynasty Warriors, right? It was a series look, you either with the niche or you're not. But somehow they found their way, even if you don't want it, publishers wanted something in there. What's your thoughts on that, Jaron, about this popularity now of their going into even the Persona series, hidden RPGs and everything?
Yeah, it's non-surprise, mostly because if you find something that works, you do it over and over again. case in point, we're up to Dynasty Warriors, what, 9?
Yeah.
And we have the spin-off Samurai Warriors that got like 2 or 3 games.
I think they're on their 5th one. I think they're on the Samurai Warriors like on their 5th one, I think. But
okay, cool.
I think so.
No
Mystic
I only
Heroes.
have the original one. I only remember the original one on PS2, but that's great that they're up to the 5th one. We got Warriors Orochi that's up to like 5th or 6th one. You got, you have your Hyrule Warrior and all that other stuff. You have Dynasty Warriors, Dynasty Warriors : Gundam.
Mm-hmm. They even have the small one. They only got 2 sequels. Crimson Sea. I think it's Crimson Sea. Yeah.
Yeah. One Piece Pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors 4.
Yeah.
Warriors All Stars. You had Berserk.
They even did the fighting game of Final Fantasy NT. They were a part of that.
Yeah. The
PSP. I think so.
Yeah,
No,
PSP,
no. Vita.
I think they came back for the console ones too.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's the thing. You find something that works, you drive that MFer into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You drive it into the ground. So
yeah, but why do you think now is the time? Because they've been running in the ground for quite a while, and for a while we thought that they were never going to do anything else but the Dynasty Warrior games, right?
Well, now you have Neo. I mean, this is after the Koei Temco joint venture. So I think because you can only get diminishing returns, that's why they have to find some new property or some new property to jazz it up, to gin up additional support.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's why they're licensing anything they can get their hands on.
And I'm very surprised that it's almost like you have to earn a pretty good reputation to touch some golden gems. Like Zelda's not something you just walk in like, I want to do that series. Like you gotta show us why you want this. So we'll give you some stuff. We like what we saw, then we'll see. We want to give you that,
And they got 3 of those now.
They do.
Yeah.
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 With the newest one, the latest one we heard from the news was Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, right?
Yes,
That's the last newest one we know so far from them.
Yeah, that's their second Fire Emblem, or third Fire Emblem game. Warriors game.
Oh, are you count? Yeah, because the 3DS one, right?
Yeah.
They're not the same, right? They're not the exact same.
They are and they aren't. Kind of like
Okay.
Hyrule Warriors on a 3DS. You got a certain character that
Okay.
you didn't get on the Wii U, and then the Nintendo Switch. Actually, I can say 4 Hyrule Warriors games. Nintendo Switch got the definitive edition that combined the Wii U and the 3DS, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So they were different but the same.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. How's it do like that non-answer?
But they're hitting their stride, and this is the perfect time for them too, because like they just get the keys to the car, and we here believe that there is even more series they can touch that we don't know, or maybe you don't know, that might surprise us, because they're pretty good at surprising us. Every time they do, I'm like, okay, we'll see where that goes. And I think also they're really good of just making something just over the top amazing, no matter how many times you see it. The whole beating up 1 million people and throwing them up in the sky with a badass move. And you saw them really try to push it where like Persona 5 Persona 5 Strikers is connected to Persona 5 in some sort of way, and they're adding RPG elements to that, to Hyrule Warrior where it is canon to the prequel to Breath of the Wild, to Fire Emblem Fire Emblem 3 Hopes is connected, I believe after the story, or it could be an alternative story. I'm not 100% sure. They're even getting the keys to Stranger in Paradise, Final Fantasy, the story of like the beginning for Final Fantasy. I guess like I'm wrong. I might be 100% wrong, but when the crystal was first created or whatever.
Are you going to play that game? Or are you eventually?
I'm not really. I'm not interested since we talked about it a while back. I still haven't been interested in it.
Oh man, I've seen some gameplay. It looks interesting. I
heard it's like it's a B. I heard it's dumb fun. It's easy.
But
it's an easy game.
That's Koei Temco though. It's mindless action. Mindless fun.
Yeah. And lucky for them, they managed to make themselves stand out with the Neo series, kind of getting their own series that almost, yes, it's influenced by Dark Souls, but they did enough to make themselves stand on their own, And of course, because of that, we haven't really seen a new Ninja Gaiden. We haven't seen really a new Dead or Alive. They're banking on this. This is their bread and butter right now, and good for them. But that leaves us with this: who could they touch? So for us, we have a list, 2 or 3 games that we want to talk about that we want to see them touch. Either it is based on video games, maybe it's based on different media of entertainment, anime, cartoons, whatever. The world's our oyster when we talk about this. And that's the cool part about them is their styles can work with a lot of things that just, as long as it's good action, it will be fun, So what triggered this? Well, the first pair I'm going to talk about is the trigger, because we talked about this off air, that I think they can do something interesting with this game. And I thought, how cool would it be for them to you're fighting through the sea, through the sewers. I honestly thought I can play the sequel of this game on the NES in that style, from the burning building to the streets to the sewer to the snow to the car parking lot to on the street, the surfing, the Japanese dojo or whatever, to the laboratory of Dr. Crane. And I'm talking about TMNT. I'm talking about Team Ninja Turtles here. Team Ninja Turtles is awesome. With the collection coming out, I was telling them, what do we want to see from the next Turtles other than Documu doing their 2D beat 'em up game? What is the next thing? Because sadly, Platinum Games and Activision didn't quite get it right with their Turtles game. So Koei Temco could probably do this. And based on what I have seen from Zelda to Fire Emblem and all this stuff, the Turtles can rock this. It'd be awesome. Just seeing a bunch of Foot Clans. You can make robots just going around, just striking up, doing poses and everything blowing up, to riding the skateboard. Everybody has distinct moves. You can still put dirty pizza on the ground. They can pick it up, eat it. I don't care about that.
Dirty ass pizza.
Yeah, the findable bomb and do the quick turns. Teamwork moves. That'd be kind of cool. You get a lineup of all these cool heroes you can grab on the way. Casey Jones could be part of this. Splinter could be part of this. April could probably put something in there if you want to do it.
Saki Yojimbo.
Just have some bonus characters just for the hell of it. And most of the time with Koei Tecmo, especially the Fire Emblems and the first Zelda game, it was the universe comes together. So all these characters come together in some shape or form. Turtles can do that. Maybe Crane open up all these dimensions and every hero and a character can come in and they're here to take it all down. But I just really want the 4-player co-op. I think that would just be really fun to see if they could pull that off. Because if you play Dynasty Warriors, it's mostly half strategy, half fighting, right? Yes, you're going around doing melee hits, but you do have certain time limits to get to a certain destination to stop something from happening. So with the Turtles game, it'd be kind of cool of you're splitting up in two, 2 teams can go take over, try to beat up, Baxter Stockman and his giant machine or something, while the other people are taking care of Rocksteady and Bebop. There's a lot of potential and a lot of iconic Turtle characters. So I think it'd be awesome. And if you get the soundtrack banging, awesome. Give me the remix of all the Turtles 2 game. That'd be awesome. And then get the announcer that does Turtles in Time. Big Apple, 3 a.m. I don't care. Just have fun with it. So what's your thoughts? Do you see them pulling it off?
For Turtles, yeah. I mean, it's a clear fact that any of those Muso games have to have at least 15 characters that you can unlock over a course of whatever. You can even start off with 1 or 2 and then slowly 1 or 2 and then rescue the other 2 turtles by stage 2, and then every other stage you get a new character and which introduces a new type of gameplay. I mean, you have Screw Loose. I remembered all the Mighty Mutanimals.
Yeah,
Screw Loose and Ray Fillet and Cuddly the Cowlick. You can do all sorts of. The Turtles have a huge pot of characters to choose from. I mean, that's not even counting the TV show, the cartoon TV show, or any of the cartoon TV shows. You had all the toys, all the Archie comics, which introduced a lot of these characters. You have, I mean, I hate saying this, but that's built-in DLC right there. You can have DLC for multiple seasons right there.
Oh, dude, you can even get more ridiculous if you want to lean on the toys models. Get them I had the Leonardo with the hockey outfit. they can have fun with the most ridiculous costumes. And it could actually, the hockey outfit work for Donatello since he works with a bow and you get a long hockey stick. That's beside the point. The point is, like, you can do ridiculous DLC costumes for all these kind of characters. And then the style, right? Like, the shell shaded and the style that Koei Tecmo does their stuff would work great. Like, using, like, you know, Fire Emblems kind of style for that. So
yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's really hard to mess up the art style for Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's possible, but it is hard because we've had the bright cartoony colors. You've had the cell shaded. You know, you had a mixture of the two. You could do it in almost Streets of Rage style, the Streets of Rage 4 style.
Yeah,
you know, it's hard to mess that up. And like you were saying, the umbrella symbol behind me.
Yeah.
Like you were saying. It brings a lot of different, you know, moves that you can utilize. Everybody, you can just go bonkers. Especially everybody has these ultimate Musu charge moves, and if you charge it at the same time as the other person, you combine your attack. It's all built in there. You know, it almost is just plug in a property,
right,
and you got it. Now the 4-player part, that's what's going to be interesting, because I don't think I don't. Well. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they have done 4-player Musu games.
They have the Hyrule Warriors. Well, Hyrule Warriors have done 2 players. I don't think 4. You might be right. 2 players might be max. But if you can connect online, like if it could be 4-player online to get it, if that's the only functional way, that I can live with that. But
yeah, I mean, it would give an excuse to play online, like especially if they did something like that. You know, got a property that they didn't have to keep to console and put it on PC. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
you know, that's a stream party right there.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, I think that would be the best way to demonstrate 4 players.
Okay,
and actually put in some extra functions. So yeah, I could. Yeah, Turtles would be obvious slam dunk choice.
Okay. So what do you have in your Turtle and a Half shell?
Oh goodness, what do I have for Musu? All right, well. We'll start with another one that has a cavalcade of characters. Actually, I got the soundbite right here.
Transformers. Okay. Okay.
Yes. So you already got a little bit of the action with Transformers Devastation, you know, years ago. It was fun, but pump into that a little bit more. You know, obviously you get a good gameplay loop, but pump into that some 2 to 4-player transforming action. I mean, you already have stuff where you can hop on a horse in other games, transform into a freaking car or a jet or a motorcycle, and go to the next battle, and then leap, transform out, start shooting or brawling, and there you go. I mean, you have all these Autobots, and if you want, you could even do like 2 separate sides. You could have the Decepticons one side of the story and then play the Autobots on the other.
Yeah, that's what they did for Hyrule Warriors. They did that. Yeah, because you got to play with Ganon and some of the other bad guys. So yeah, that could work. And it could be like the War on Cybertron kind of setting too if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, you could have it take place in multiple places. Cybertron, the Moon, Earth, New Cybertron. You could have, you know, the flashback on Cybertron when Decepticons were winning and you played the Decepticons, and then flash forward to Earth. And this, that, and the other. You have, there's so many different settings you can have, you know, Energon cubes. At the end of the day, Musu is mindless hack and slash or shoot and slash. So just go ham with it. Go ham with, and you with Transformers, depending on how intense you want to go, you can have, you know, instead of blood, like oil or whatever bioorganic material if you rip somebody apart, depending on if they let you do that. I mean, hell, they let Michael Bay have it.
I mean, they kind of would have the blueprint kind of already set because Gundam is probably the closest to that, right? So they kind of already kind of done it. They just have to make a Transformer style. So, okay, yeah, I dig that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right. I think Castlevania would be interesting.
No, you stole one of mine.
Oh, that's why you're supposed to have a backup. Yeah, was that your big surprise?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I think Castlevania will be interesting. Just the fact that to be honest with you, I don't know if I want the collection of the best Castlevania characters. I'd rather just have a new protagonist go into the castle and do stuff. And I thought it'd be kind of cool just to see him show, like, the giant battlefield. This is how big the castle is. That's why I think it'll be kind of cool. So you kind of just see different layouts, and then you get to fight the iconic monsters in there. Yeah. I thought it'd be kind of cool because
go with an original story, because Castlevania is full of original stories. You can have something where you can have multiple protagonists across the ages.
But if I had to pick one, I would probably do Castlevania 2, because that world's pretty cool. So seeing that, in a 3D world would be pretty cool.
Day-night cycle.
Yeah, day-night cycle. The whole, like, the forest one to just going to various castles on the way. That'd be pretty cool to see. And then the big fight against Castlevania. Plus, there's so many monsters in that game, from zombies, skulls, red skulls, ghosts, all this stuff. It's like there's a lot of varieties they can do as your journey through what monsters you fight and everything like that. And of course, your iconic weapons of the cross, the axe, the knives, including the super moves with your whip.
I would like to see a good 3D Castlevania game. Those are hard. Those are hard to pull out.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, no matter who develops it for Konami, Castlevania is so hard to get right 3D wise. Lament of Innocence or the reboot of it.
Yeah, with Mercury Steam
to getting it right.
Yeah, Mercury Steam, which they're literally the Metroidvania studio, because they done the newest Metroid game too. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So but yeah, there is potential there, and I think it just gets something kind of fresh, because I think anybody right now that's a big Castlevania fan are thirsty for a Castlevania game. So
yeah,
and with the talk of Konami saying they're going to bring these series back, so they say, that'd be kind of a cool surprise to see, like, oh, or would you agree they can get the Neo treatment? Would you like to see them do kind of like that? I'm just saying. I thought it'd be kind of cool.
Honestly, they could put it in whatever setting they want, as long as the game plays well, and as long as they don't make the mistake of saying, "Hey, look, Castlevania's back. Don't worry about the details. Castlevania's back." It's like, no, put a proper story in there. Make me nostalgic. Not because your game is so bad, I'd rather play an old Castlevania game, but make the game so good. It's like, oh, this takes me back. Oh, what a terrible night to have a curse.
Yeah.
Take me in there. Take me in there. Like, pull me into your creative bosom, Konami.
Okay. Well, since I whipped that away from you, what do you have to replace?
All right, this is going away from the Musu style, going more of the Ninja Gaiden Nier style, the newer Ninja Gaiden.
All right.
Hyborian Warriors. I want Conan. I want Cole. I want Red Sonja. I want those characters. And that's why I say Ninja Gaiden style, because I want decapitations. I want delimbed. I want arms cut off. I want people run through. I want the brutality of Conan.
You want it bloody. Okay.
I'll put it this way. I'm not getting a new Golden Axe anytime soon.
You don't want to go.
This.
Well, Sega will never let anybody do Golden Axe like a Mushu game, because that'd be pretty cool. But that's beside the point. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be my first choice. But that shit ain't gonna happen.
No, it's not.
So
no.
So I'm gonna go with Hyborian Warriors.
Okay.
You can do it Musu style as well, but I'd rather see like a more cohesive story. And you can do, have multiple characters, and you can take on, Tothamon and Thulsa Doom, and you can even get a special skin that Thulsa Doom looks like James Earl Jones is Thulsa Doom, and you can have characters, characters like Subotai from the original Conan, or whatever cavalcade of characters like Grace Jones's character from Conan the Destroyer.
I was gonna say, man, let me get the Arnold Schwarzenegger edition too.
Yeah, I'm not saying it has to follow the movies, because the books and the comics were much, much more brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But you can have some fun, because most people recognize Conan from the Schwarzenegger stuff. So pull that in a little bit. Get Bridget Nielsen to sign off on a likeness for Red Sonja for a special skin.
Okay.
All that crap. Kevin Sorbo, I guess, for Call, but that movie kind of flopped. But yeah, you can get at least good 5-6 characters that you can play as, and you can just start chopping the shit out of everybody. Just swords, axes, smaller swords, bows and arrows, daggers. Get get the wizard who is casting spells on people. You know, all of that, just throw it in there and just inject it right into my vein. You know, it's funny because like you could even put Thundercats exactly that way you want to, because like Thundercats is kind of like Cats the Barbarian kind of style too in their own way. So Thundercats would make a great Musou game.
Yeah,
you have enough characters for it. You know, but I'm just saying
Okay.
I would like a little blood. Like I still remember Ninja Gaiden 2 on the 360 and how you would just chop dudes up with various weapons. And if you got them in the right spot.
And they haven't made a bloody game ever since. That's like Ninja Gaiden's the only bloodiest thing they ever done. They haven't done anything like that.
The Ninja Gaiden Master Collection that they put on the PC, they cut that blood and delimbing out.
Oh, that's sad to hear.
So yeah, you have to actually get the 360 version if you want that stuff in there. But,
okay.
Yeah, I want it. That would be a day one buy for me.
Okay. Awesome. My next pick is something that they never really dipped into that category. I want to say other publishers have done their own way of doing it, but Koei Temco never really did that, and that's the fighting games. They never really touch any of the fighting games to make them Musou. So I thought like King of the Fighters would be interesting. You know, I thought Street Fighter, but like I think King of the Fighters has a little bit more interesting fighters, and that would work for this idea. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to see them, you know, take it to the streets with the one, like, you know, the whole Streets of Rage kind of thing. There's a Mr. X or something like that. But like seeing these variety of these characters going against Geese and his crew or something like that. And I thought it'd be kind of cool just to see Kaio, Terry Bogard, you know, all these characters just just like taking to the streets and beating people up and just having fun with that. I don't really have a whole idea. I just want to see some of their signature moves, just see how that looks whooping everybody's ass. I thought that'd be pretty rad. So, yep, that's all I got. I thought the King of Fighters would be pretty cool.
I mean, 15 did just drop a few weeks back or a month ago.
Mm-hmm. And to tell you the truth, like any fighting game, I think could work. The popular ones, like I say, Street Fighter could work too. But that's why I was like, they tried it with X3 on the PS2 per se, and that didn't quite think what people really wanted. So I thought since King of the Fighters kind of have more of that anime look, I thought that'd be kind of cool to see what they would do over the top and everything.
Yeah, they got so many complaints about that PS2 entry, but I think so. I don't know how well it worked as a Musou, a bunch of nameless goons, but if you did kind of more of a 3D brawler, I could see it, like Fighting Force except developed properly.
Uh-huh.
I could see that. You know, I would not charge, depending on how it goes with brawlers, I would not charge more than $40 for it. But yeah. SNK might let that slide out. Hell, Dead or Alive, they could do something with their own property. Dead or Alive, they've got enough crazy characters in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially because you know, the main character for Ninja Gaiden is in that series anyway, so it's like, boom, there you go.
Yeah.
But before we go to your final one, I do have an honorable mention, and I'll go ahead and get that out of the way before I let you hit yours and your honorable mention. I think I'm going to say X-Men. Have you did anything with X-Men?
I was going to do a larger
cool
group.
Then I'm going to leave that honorable mention to you to finally do this. So go ahead.
No. The more I think about it, the more I think a focused team like X-Men would be more interesting, especially if you go into the deep cuts of X-Men characters. I'm talking not just Wolverine and Cyclops and Storm and stuff. I'm talking, you know, deep cuts beyond the old arcade game, like more than just Dazzler. You know, I want Havoc. You know, I bring Jubilee out. You know.
Well, I think I mean you kind of get that for 92 per se minus Havoc, but you know Jubilee was one of the big entrants for that. I think it would be a mixed bag. I think you would get half the classics, half who are these people. You know.
Yeah, I mean, true, but depending on the game. I mean, if you're doing Musou, you got to go deep. You do, but you also can't take out people. You also can't take out Wolverine. I think that'd be a bad decision on that. That's shooting yourself in the foot. That's why I say you got to have your classic and some new people, so people can just get familiar with new people. And I'm not talking about X23. X23.
Yeah, I don't think that would count.
I mean, that would be a good alternate skin, but for Wolverine. I mean, you could cover all the people the ones people expect in like 5 or 6 folks: Cyclops, Jean Grey, Wolverine, Storm, Iceman, Beast, Nightcrawler, Colossus. Yeah, you can cover that.
So
and then
let me ask you this: you're saying you want some deep cuts for the viewers. Who are the deep cuts that you want to mention to be in this? What do you want?
Well, for my criteria for it to be a deep cut in this context, it has to be someone who has not appeared as a playable character in a video game more than once.
Okay, so Marrow.
Marrow, yeah, you can have Marrow. I'll never pick her because Marrow sucks.
I know, like, we'll basically go to Marvel's Capcom 2. There's a lot of oneers in there. Silver Samurai.
Yeah, there's Silver Samurai. I mean, Sunfire. You can have Sunfire pop in. You can have Psylocke because, I mean, although she's been in there, been in games a couple times, like Marvel Mutant Apocalypse on the Super Nintendo and stuff like that. But, you know, everybody knows Gambit. Okay, cool. How about we have Rogue? You know, she's only been in the fighting game. Let's have her in actual beat them up, beat some people up.
Okay.
You know, oh, God, now you hit me hard. Angel.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? He just flies around. No, Angel can fight too. You know, if you put him in this Dark Angel persona. Yeah. So the X-Men have such a huge roster. I have a poster in my hallway or canvas painting in my hallway that I could just sit there and it's like I could just close my eyes and point and hit someone new.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends what they want to do. As long as, because if it do too much, then like it'll be basically Marvel Alliance.
I mean, the first 2 Marvel Alliance games, people love it. So I mean, that's not really a bad thing to be.
True.
Especially since the third one kind of fumbled.
I was honestly thinking of like you maybe like have a way to have Cable go in and then he messes up the past and that gives you a chance to get a little bit of all X-Men, some shape or form, defeating some evil being, whatever it is, and that'd be just kind of fun. So
yeah, or really just blow my mind. Professor Xavier's playable.
I was gonna say that could work. They can have fun.
He'd
with
be
that.
a glass cannon. If he gets hit like once or twice, he falls out of his chair. He's like, ah!
Yeah, that'd be funny. It'd be funny. Yeah, it'd be a fun mission.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun like trophy, like protect him through a mission or something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
Or play the whole game as Professor Xavier.
Yeah.
The trophy is X-Men of 1.
Right.
X-Men Army of 1. He's just like, oh, I got hit. I'm out my chair. So,
what is your final pick?
All right, my final pick. So, I'm going to split some of the difference with the Marvel characters because I mean, come on, it would have been awesome. I was going to go that way, but I would actually like to see a little bit more. Is it Image Comics? I believe.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some Image Comics, like some characters from Image Comics, like Supreme, the Superman analog, or the X-Force like analog, Blood Pack or Blood Force or something like that. Gen 13. I like to see some. It's very. I'm not going to say under the radar because it kind of is, but it's just different enough. You know, that 90s, that early to mid 90s style, all these different heroes that, you know, Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane and all these guys came up with, Rob Liefeld, all these guys came up with, and it kind of got video games back in the mid 90s, like Super Nintendo and PS1, but they sucked. So I'd like to see them, you know, try and come back, bring that back. So, you know, obviously people say Spawn, whatever.
So the structure, are you talking about like a collection of these all these characters coming together, say like Hyrule Warriors or Fire Emblem? You're talking about just a collection of these? Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about Musou. Okay. And you could even call it, you know, Deathmate, because that was like a huge cross-line, you know, line-wide crossover comic event in the Image Comics years ago. You can call it like Deathmate or something like that, and you can just have all these Image characters because they're not all clean-cut heroes. They're bloody, they're rough, they're tough. You know, they will kill if they have to. Okay. That kind of stuff. You could, you know, I think that could be fun. They'd have to market it very well because there are a lot of young people, like people born in the last 20, 25 years who've never heard of these characters except for Spawn. And if they can get that going, I think that would be pretty fun. That'd be pretty damn fun.
They need to get they got to get big in the movie business, and then that could probably work.
Yeah, that's the thing. People are like, who are these? Nobody's heard of these. You know, nobody's heard of these characters. Who the hell is Jid 13? They're a bunch of teenagers. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I'm trying to think of, because it really bothers me. I can't.
I'll try to have oh, go ahead.
Witchblade. Yeah, Witchblade. She's another character.
I was gonna say I'll try to put a picture of some of those comics that you're talking about, so people can kind of get a visual look at what we're talking about.
Because I mean, let's see. Oh yeah, Wildcats, because they had a cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, everybody knows about Wildcats. So
yep.
Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff in there. If you want to, you could have a hidden character of Walking Dead.
And I'm pretty sure anybody that's watching us on Twitch or on YouTube, they can leave a comment down below of other comics that could make that list of the idea that you're looking for. And so, but with that is the end of our episode. I want to thank everybody for watching us and listening to us on Twitch and on YouTube. As you know, we are part of the In-Game Boss program and that we're gaming on the variety shows. So please check out all our great content that we are putting on there. We are still growing and we're still trying to learn and whatnot, but we need your help. So leave a comment down below and tell us how we're doing. We're doing great. We're doing bad. You know, what do we need to do? Fix things. What topics do you want us to talk about? You know,
tell us how awesome we are. Stop being shy and just tell us how awesome we are. Compliments are great. Compliments are a love language.
Right. But if you want to talk to me, just like you can find our show on Twitter at ProgramIn or on Facebook by typing in In-Game Boss Program, you can find me personally on Twitter as RetroAmp07.
And you can find me on Twitter if you want to have an argument at the Grumpy Bear 84.
Yeah. And with that, thank you so much. And we will catch you on our next stage. Stage clear. Let's go.
Ranking S for that combo.